Right, we're trying to reach the Atchisons. I'm gonna just follow the rails. I'm assuming the people who built the rails are gonna be somewhere along the rails, so... The rail thief caught her. Right. Don't care. We can always loot later, so I don't really care about food containers at the moment. Ooh, that's a lot of raiders. Um, Looks like we can't really avoid a fight. We get a free attack. Decapitation. Slashing like a berserker, Havoc gashes a rail thief cutter for 56 points of damage, splashing everything in the vicinity with his steaming viscera. I think he got decapitated. Yeah. Right. Gunner, someone there. Set up. Heavy gunner, so probably heavy machine gun. Still only about maybe 3-4 guys. I'm gonna need to go to cover. The heavy gunner actually do a lot of damage. Is his turn coming up anytime soon though? Not as far as I can tell. We could basically get another turn potentially killed before his turn starts. And if I sort of retreat, it's gonna be very tough for me to attack again. If I go there, I'm in a very vulnerable spot. I think I'll just stay here. The 2 extra points will go in storage, and there's some kind of cover, at least a little bit there. 26% chance of success. That's not gonna cut it. We want to push forward for a couple of reasons. The cover will give us significant protection against enemy fire, but we don't want to get into a situation still that we both start just sit in the cover and shoot at each other with food. Carefully examine if there's a save here. Like hidden save. We don't want to get in a situation where we both just basically shoot at each other with almost no chance of hitting. You are weak. Please do not try to rush. Right. Mostly just destroyed the cover, so... the rat is still in the fight, and he blocked the path. Ah, you son of a bitch. I need to do something. Might as well attack the heavy gunner. The cutter can attack us quite badly though. Doesn't really matter. There's no option outside just waiting there for them to come to us where I could avoid all serious damage. You just move forward to give bonuses to our own guys. Disarmed him. Okay, it's still nice to have the dismemberment for bladed weapons. The rat got injured pretty badly, but I might as well heal him. I mean, he's part of the team technically. Although there's gonna be a pretty severe limit on that. I don't give a shit about the rat. Okay. So access to the safe is somewhere totally different. Bren. I suppose heavy weapons have a decent damage per action point ratio. But you still mainly get to fire life once per turn. Unless you go really focus on it or drug yourself up. And you still have the range problem. So in some ways it could be viewed as sort of a defensive firepower, while you have longer range assault rifles. In sniper rifles you have the heavy weapon basically handling everything that comes toward you. We looted the corpses. Rail thief camp. And the Prabha still follows us. Other camp? Right. I'm mainly seeing standard guys, so no bosses or anything. Rails go there. I don't want to find a situation where they might have the high ground and I can't basically use cover. So I think we need to take base out here. Rail thief camp. Rail thief camp. Nothing to indicate that these are especially important. Camp is a camp is a camp though. One down. Barrel turns will come very quickly. Gunners, cutters, gunners. Gunners probably have rifles, so I need a decent cover for the melee guy. At the same time, I need to be relatively close to them. Did he lose his legs? Yes. That's quite nice. It's sort of because you're viewing the situation from so far away, but you don't really realize exactly what happens. But He blew both his legs off and he crawled there for a while before dying, so it's a nice little detail. Taking careful aim, Stitch pegs a rail thief gunner, inflicting 60 points of damage, blasting him into chunks of steaming meat. Yep, that's how it seemed to me too. Back attack. Lost control. Well, this isn't important.
I'm gonna mutate you into a corpse.
What? I'm gonna mutate you into a corpse? Because you're a mutant? You're so fucking lame. Chance to hit is terrible. You probably need some more energy weapon skills. Just saying. You go hide somewhere. He just doesn't have the skill, so even if I could get into a position to attack, he would never hit. Probably would get just slaughtered. Okay, who needs to die? You need to die first. Good job. Seriously? Good job. This kind of forward-moving attack is terrible for Scarlet. I don't think that's ever gonna change, so maybe I should fully focus her on buffing and debuffing. That's something she can do even if she doesn't fire. A rail thief gunner fires at Rat, causing 20 points of damage, sending him crashing to the ground, dead. What a shame. Try to move into a flanking position, please. We'll probably not survive the night thing, but whatever. Nice. A lot of melee weapons.
Hic situs est faetum, currus abriga paterni. Ken si non tenvit, magnis tamen exidit absis.
An alarm. I don't think I even want to risk an alarm. Right, this was just to allow us to move past here. So I don't want to fight another fight. At the same time, it could only come over the bridge because we've cleansed this, so we could basically have put everyone in position and intentionally just trigger that one. See if anyone shows up, because it seems like it's a totally worthless thing if it only alarms these people. They're gonna attack no matter what. I can't stealth in this game, so what's all this? Far sight sniper rifle. I don't actually know if this is better or worse. Seems very valuable though. This might be better. Actually, it's cheaper. It's probably better though. Yeah, it is definitely better. However, here I'm not so sure. Yeah, the far side is better. Though just happened to stumble upon a far superior sniper rifle. Yeah, just basically does more damage. %25 chance. Not sure if I want to try it. Because we could easily just increase the skill. Not sure how experience here is handled. Maybe it's once per mod, so basically if you attach it to something once, you can never get experience out of it anymore. I don't know. 2 extra ammunition, 15 extra ammunition. Okay, that's no good. I have to buy sniper rifle ammunition. These are not common finds. Yeah, I think it's the very, or rather relatively high perception. So even I think earlier areas could potentially hide very decent loot if you just focus on perception. A buzz of flies and a foul stench alerts you to a body trapped among the twisted metal. Looks like the flies haven't been the only thing feeding on this guy.
So many women. So few men. What is going on?
This place looks like it's made out of matchsticks and broken dreams, and the people are as dull-eyed as starved dogs. Also, there are almost no men among them. It looks like the Atchisons are nearly all women.
This place is a ruin. Even Darwin is in better shape.
Melissa.
Who's there?
You see a woman scrubbing the rust off the barrel of a pistol using sand from the dune. She might once have been attractive, but the relentless sun has bleached her hair and turned her skin to leather. As weathered and hard as a leather riding crop, looking into her eyes is like looking into a grave.
Don't get in my way, Rangers. I'm going to end it all.
And what?
End the feud before it ends us. It's already taken everything from me. My sons, my husband, my sister who married a Topeka, and her daughter too. Master Kekaba hung my menfolk, and Casey James's bombs blew up my womenfolk. All because of pride and selfishness. Well, I'll make an end of both of them.
So Casey is the one planting the bombs.
Casey will deny it, of course, but he's the one who plants all those bombs. He says he'll stop when Kekabah stops hanging Atchisons, and Kekabah says he'll stop hanging when Casey stops bombing. And it goes on and on and on. Well, no more.
Casey James killed the women of his own tribe.
Casey's bombs didn't pick and choose. He said he was sorry my kin got killed, but it was their fault for being related to Topekans. I say it's his fault for planting the bombs.
How do you feel about Casey James?
He may be my leader, but he's as much of a fool as Kekabah. He'd rather have a worthless symbol in his hand than food in the bellies of his people.
What do you think of Master Kekabah?
A prideful fool who thinks he's a king. He's letting his people starve rather than make peace. All because he thinks somebody's gotta be punished for something that weren't nothing but an accident.
Kekabah hung your men.
All the Atchison men are hanging from the Topekans' gate. We've lost a whole generation to this feud. It's long past time for the women to stop it.
You have a problem with the Topekans.
There are no Topekans, and no Atchisons either. Those names don't mean anything. We're all the same tribe. We all wander and work the rails. Folks just like to have an us and a them, so they can blame things on somebody other than themselves. Idiots.
You're not proud to be an Atchison.
Why should I be? We're just another bunch of murderers, just like the Topekans.
There's got to be another way. Let us try.
Give me one good reason why. Do you think you'll be able to make peace between those fools? Or maybe you want to kill them before I do.
What if I can negotiate a peace?
I'll believe it when I see it. But okay, I'll stay my hand until the next Atchison or Topekan dies. If there's another death in this feud, then I'm taking heads. First Kekabah's, then Casey's, then mine. I'll be watching, Rangers.
I hate to tell you, Melissa, but you're not capable enough to kill probably either one. The second to the last of the B8 intersectors. This water tower hasn't held water for years. The winch of this well hangs by a few fragments of shrapnel. Looks like it was blown up by a hail of bullets. Water source. I wonder if I can do something about it. You're the repair guy. You're a gal. Ah, it is repairable, but actually it's guaranteed success because there's no critical failure chance. It will just take some tries. This was a critical failure because the handyman flashed. Yeah, I sort of think these cannot really work. This has a chance to be a success. I don't recall ever seeing a success after the handyman thing. With the winch reattached, this well can be used to keep the Atchison camp supplied with water. Right. Okay. Someone didn't see that anyone gave a shit about that, but it's free experience for us. I'd like to see more perks like the handyman. Maybe not so easy to get, but still. So you could, if you choose to sacrifice some perks, you could basically, in skill use in general, focus more on just getting things done. With some skills, I suppose it would be very bad to ever get it early. Repair is a bit different because it's usually a backup skill. So it allows you to recover, so at least once. So that drastically increases your chance of basically not having to load.
Coffee.
This ain't the time to bother me,
Cordite.
Rangers.
AC. An unopened tin can of gunpowder. Story of John Henry. Empty can of coffee beans. Half leather skinned man in his early 40s. His angular face is framed by wild sideburns, and he has tattoos of railroad spikes on both forearms. His war paint makes it look like he's covered in soot. I don't want to talk with him now. I'd like to get a better understanding of what's going on in this camp before trying to speak to him about anything. There doesn't seem to be. Yeah, this is a small camp. Not that many houses anyway. Treasure. Yeah, so these people are basically starving. Can understand why they're so desperate. Sleeveless t-shirt. Okay. I wonder what it looks like. Is it somehow different looking from everything else? Exactly are you wearing anyway? Can't. Who doesn't have a weapon? Havoc is a good model for this. She only has a single one-handed weapon. Beasley. So I went in there and stole their t-shirts, right?
What a fascinating collection of junk.
Switchman Antiques. A filthy looking old man with a patchy white beard and thinning fly-away hair. He wears a red neckerchief for a loincloth and nothing else. He smells as bad as he looks. If you see anything you like, just give me a holler. Why is this place called Switchman Antiques? Well, I used to be a switchman, but with the train not running, I had to find other work. So now I sell fine antiques to deserting customers. These aren't antiques, all I see is trash. Of course they're antiques. Why, that garbage bag over there is from before the apocalypse, and that dried up piece of grapefruit is older than me. Honest John wouldn't lie to you. Right. Show me those antiques. Sega Genesis, Neo Geo, CDI, and broken camera. CDI is a quest item, so we'll definitely buy that. It's only 5. Greatest console ever. Right. Not sure if we're going to benefit anything from the other game consoles. I mean, I can't exactly play them, or rather, I can actually play them. So why the fuck would I play them in this game, even if I could? I don't know if I want to sell anything to him. I mean, what's the point? Well, it's one quest down. I wonder if you managed to make peace with them. Is this camp gonna just disappear, or is it gonna be developed further? Chisels here. Toaster. Sabbath rocket. I think we've been skipping Toaster for a long time. I don't recall any more where they even been happening. We've seen them, so that's gonna be another reason we have to go through all their areas. Fertilizer sprayer. I know where this is supposed to go. I have no idea how can I do it anymore. A mechanical sprayer useful for fertilizing plants to be cultivated for their fruits. I'm not sure if I want to start spoiling these. I probably no. I'll choose. There's no point. I mean, if you really want to know, you can probably just Google and you'll get locations for every piece of item anyway. So no, I'll just if I know but I think I can't do it, I'll just shut the fuck about it. Shut the fuck up about it. Front wall of this shack is covered in old wanted posters.
I've lived too long already.
To enter this yurt, a wiry old hard-ass limps toward you using a metal-studded club for a cane. Age and the sun have turned him into tattooed beef jerky, and he's the toughest jerky you've ever seen.
Well, looks like my past has finally caught up with me. So, Rangers, you come to take me down? Well, I've had a good run. Just don't expect me to go quiet. I got work to do here, and I ain't leaving till it's done.
He has an assault rifle, but the picture probably doesn't mean much. He has some kind of a crowbar right hand, I think. Has Hellraiser been around lately?
That fool Ranger came around here a few weeks back, wanted to take me in for questioning. I sent him packing, just like I'll do to you.
What kind of work do you do?
Huh? Ain't it obvious? I'm Casey James, security chief.
You're in charge of security around here, really?
Damn right I am, and until this war with them Topekans is over, I ain't going nowhere. I'll turn myself in when the fighting's done, but not before.
Do you know Casey James?
I'm a security chief, ain't I? I provide protection against them rail thieves and them Topekans, and he provides me with a yurt to stay in. Maybe not the best price I've ever charged, but you just watch your step, whippersnapper. I'll earn every penny.
What's a yurt?
You're standing in it, and I hate these goddamn hippie teepees. Still, beats sleeping out in the dust with them lizards.
Don't seem to be doing much against the rail thieves. Still plenty out there.
Yeah, out there, not in here. They know better to come here when the chisel's around.
Okay, take you down. Why?
Yeah, you know, for all my countless crimes, I bet you Rangers have a file on me a mile thick. I'm Adian Bombacetable, known as the Chisel. You must heard of me. I'm the last of the hard men. You savvy?
Why do they call you the Chisel?
Why do they call me the Chisel? Ha! Everybody knows why they call me the Chisel. It's because I. Well, what do you know? I forgot why they call me that.
Anyhow, you can take it from me. It was for something terrible, I guarantee it. What crimes would those be?
Too many to name. Crimes, misdemeanors, rude things. You calling me soft? I've shot men for less. A lot less.
Yeah, stay out of trouble, old-timer.
And good riddance, coppers.
He's probably around our level. So 10 plus, depending on his strength values. He has an interesting personality. Could be a replacement for Ralphie. I don't know what he has as stats. Either way, he's not gonna come with us until we're gonna solve this, and I'm not sure
This
what
ain't
exactly
the time
we're
to
supposed
bother me,
do with it.
Rangers. I really ain't in the mood to swap words with you, Rangers. My daughter Jessie should have been home by now. She's been sneaking off with that damn Topeka boy, and I just know he did something stupid and got her captured.
We fixed the whale outside.
Damn, Rangers. Didn't expect that. Thank John Henry for small favors, I suppose. Why don't you take this little baby as a sign of my thanks? I was saving it for a special Topekan, but you'll make better use of it, I bet.
Gave me a bomb. The bomb attached to the bicycle in the playground was made with a coffee can.
Why would you think that had anything to do with me? There's plenty of coffee cans lying around in the world.
Right. You seem to have a lot of gunpowder around here.
Of course I've got gunpowder. We use it to blow up rocks when we're laying track.
Right. Jesse's got a Topekan boyfriend?
Don't remember his name. Him and Jesse were friends before that thief Kekaba kicked us out of the Topekan camp. I told Jessie she'd have to make friends with the Atchison kids now, but she's stubborn, like her dad.
Maybe we could help you get Jesse back. I'm not sure if I want to offer that, because Jesse didn't seem to be in any particular trouble. And I think it's sort of like the brake shoe. I don't particularly want to make promises or try to basically don't want to promise anything. Now we understand the situation.
Might not be polite, but the sooner you're gone, the better.
Copy, Echo. Congratulations, Echo.
Leaded weapons. Okay, we have +1 armor piercing. I'm not taking these glancing strike things. Attacks of opportunity against enemies when they move past you in combat, but that's so far that's probably happened like 0 times in this game, and I'm not spending 3 perks on something that's that infrequent. Extra armor would be useful. Extra survivability of any kind if I can't take damage. +1 armor, well this is if we want, we could get +2 armor basically. I think the plus armor would probably be a good idea at this point. At some point it might, I mean, against certain weaponry, I don't think it makes helps us in any way. However, it could be +2 armor class, and we can naturally increase the armor further later on. So while it won't help against everything, it will make a difference against certain opponents. So alternatively, weathered minus 15% damage against from critical hits, but currently we're facing normal hits, and armor does help us. So survivability or extra damage, that's the perks she's gonna focus on. Right. Now it's more of a question, are we going to go after this, or are we going to negotiate a peace? It seems like the situation is very volatile though. I mean, the woman who is basically trying to, at the brink of murdering leaders, or at least attempting it. So I don't think we have the luxury of doing anything else but trying to solve this
Don't
situation.
take too much time, Rangers. My gun is getting impatient.
This is why Jesse comes to see me in the Topeka camp. There's nothing here.
It's a shithole. I think I'll try to take down these guys. Here's the thing, yeah, it might trigger the situation or make things worse between these two, because they can now start open warfare again, but I don't think it's a problem until I report it as a success. The game doesn't really give a shit about it up until that point. But we might learn something new. It might benefit us in some way. Alarm disarm. I'd like to get it above 60% please. 76. Well. A lot of junk. We've been talking a lot anyway, so a little bit of action isn't gonna hurt us. Yeah, it's not really even the talking, it's just, frankly, there isn't a huge amount of things I can do during those talks. It's very linear. I can go through the different topics, but it's not like I can choose too many things. So it's more like, at least for the most part, it's like Skyrim role-playing. It's an adventure where you just go through the dialogue. You don't really have a huge amount of role-playing options within those dialogues, though. Site locked. He was faster. I probably should wait a turn. There's too many guys getting their turn before my guys get. So let them move into position first. Got quite a few melee guys too. Not sure where we should stay. This is not a good place to be though. Yeah, you're way too inaccurate. Need to take some energy weapon skills with this guy. You. Right. I need to be in position to attack both of those guys. I thought I might have a larger chance of success to hit. With an aim shot? Chance to hit is just absolutely god awful. Right. 58%. I guess he's technically in cover. Either way, it doesn't really matter. We get Mr. Knight, he gets to have his turn. Lost control. So far away, it doesn't matter. The poor boss. Yeah, good cover. There, dude. Right. A makeshift cleaver seems to be a popular thing here. Trap and an explosive. An alarm and a trap. I'm not sure if I want to risk the alarm. I mean, it's better to risk it once there's no one really to respond to it anymore. So it'll just be a little bit of an annoying sound you have to deal with, that's it.
Copy, Echo 1. Congratulations, Echo.
Okay, you could use more energy weapon skill, as in any weapon energy weapon skill really. At the same time, we don't really need it for the fighting purposes, but computer science, lockpicking and the like is much more valuable. So yeah, there's a reason why I don't have too much of it. However, the opponents are starting to be at a level where I really need it. An overload would allow me to do more damage against... Okay, that's nice. Didn't notice that earlier. It shows other people who have the same skill at the bottom of this. Vulture's Cry level 3, Pizepi Jorin level 6. So you don't have to go back and forth to check who has this. If there's no indication, you're the only one who has it. Right, I still think the skills are more non-combat skills are more important for this guy at the moment than the combat skills, so I'm gonna sit on the points. Because I don't know if we're gonna need safe cracking, are we gonna need lock picking, are we gonna need alarm disarming? What's the need? So and we're about at the age of unlocking some perks, so I'm not going to spend perks point because of those. I don't even know what these do though. Dowsing. Dowsing seems like it would be like using a split branch to find water. That sort of dowsing. Plus 25% chance of finding bonus scrap when digging up holes. Right. Who was the other guy? You. You suck. You get so few points that I can't buy anything. Poster repair is the only thing you're good for. Actually, that might be a thing to take, because we could take Toaster Expert. That might be a thing. Basically ignore toasters for now until we get this. Toaster Expert will allow us to get extra loot from the toasters, at least a chance, and toaster loot can be significant. I mean, instead of just getting random junk, there's chance to get trinkets and the like, and those trinkets can be very useful. Bonus to skills and the like. So, not to be underestimated. Often those extra junk items, that's rubbish. But if it's extra loot, non-junk loot, it could be very valuable. Or alarms. That looks like it's a high ground, so I'll go there first. Toadsters. Tons of them. We'll let them come to us. Always forgetting about that madman. Now these are toads, not bullfrogs. Or horned toads. I don't actually know what the difference really is. Are these the weakest ones? They seem to be a bit more mobile though. Sniper rifle ammunition. Exactly what we needed. These sniper rifles don't get to shoot all that much, but that's probably why I've ignored their ammunition shortage. Can go on for a long time with just a pitiful amount of ammunition. That's where we start. Well, it's just wanted to make sure that this is clear properly. Ooh, there's a lot of enemies there. Or animals, I guess. Why did I see them? Now I can't. What are those? Wasteland wolves. Now this is a sort of a ramp here. That's why these guys can't shoot. Let's go full in. Now she'll get all the attention from the wolves. No, I don't think we're gonna get hurt that much. A single healing attempt will be small problem. The weight issue is a bit more important. It's not really a problem. However, she's one of those people who cannot be slowed down. Redistribute the weight a little bit. Mr. Toad. Minefield. Okay. Is there another path? I don't see one. So it could be that the rail thieves are no longer a problem. This has nothing to do with rail thieves. I mean, but there is a minefield there. At the same time, it could be a protection against wildlife. Right, it's somewhat of a problem at least. Provos is gonna basically run into the minefield. Hopefully he doesn't have the mobility. Ooh, we disarmed that already. No, it exploded. Right? No? Yes? Maybe? No, you're... Seriously? No, it's just... works in a weird manner. Even if both are selected, they're not always both selected. You basically have a group mode and an individual character mode. Individual character mode allows you to move, basically any ones you've selected, but you still have only one person whose skills are going to be used in the right click action. So critical shit happens. Even at 91% chance of success, things still blow in your face. I'm not sure if what's the best way to use a skill in a situation like this. Would it be to basically just have a skill check in the way that if you have it, you get success? Because I understand that there's a lot of games have the critical failure system. However, it's usually very low, like a standard 5% chance of things always having a chance to go bad. So you can never have 100% success. But here the critical failure chances can get incredibly high.
Copy, Echo 1.
It's not like this
Congratulations,
system is
Echo 1.
particularly bad compared to others. It's just I'm just mulling over, is there a better way to do it? And naturally you could just basically have a active system that allows you to disarm things, but it would be very against this type of a control system. You can't. It's good in first person view or when you have a single character, because it's you who's playing. You're supposed to be immersed. This is a group control. It's a bit different. You have to have a more abstract system, more something a little bit removed from the experience itself. So a dice roll is just as well as any real thief base, but it's a bit different. Like you could simply just switch things a little bit, even use the same system. Here you have the shown what has different percentage chances of success. At a skill level 6, you only challenges that are 3 levels below you are start to be at 100% chance, and that's a bit great of a difference. I feel you could switch this maybe a level or 2 in favor of success chances, and you would have a better system. So if you basically meet the challenge, you would have 90 to 75% chance of success instead of the 60. So if you would ignore the skill, you could have a great chance of save scumming it. But what I feel a developer should basically ignore that every time. If someone wants to save scum in their own single player experience, let them load 1,000 times and don't give one shit about it. Because what you want to do is basically, I would say, design a game for a person who just rolls with it. And you want that experience to be as good as possible. You want those type of people to be able to play the game feel like their choices in, let's say, disarming traps basically allowed them to get through all these mine disarming situations in a great way, because they put the points in there. Currently, it's sort of in the threshold. You'd have to have a massive commitment to basically guarantee disarming fairly simple traps, and sooner or later those simple traps are going to disappear, and you'll probably never have a chance to get 100% on the bombs that you come your way. So it's always I feel a bit too much on the dice roll side, and it's one of those things that I feel that it should be adjusted in the more guaranteed success direction, or there should be a way to direct it that way, like a perk with the conversation skills. You get a +2 advantage if you spend a perk in it. There's something like that, maybe. That would give you basically some kind of a, let's say, a trap disarming expertise. So maybe it doesn't affect every demolition thing, but you could handle mines and traps in a much better way. Although I think that's pretty much what the skill does. That's about it. So if you would spend the points, you specialize, spend the perks, the 100% would be, or 91, 100% would be the norm of things. If you don't want to go all the way but still spend some skills, then you're around the 60% line. If you ignore it, naturally you'll basically keep failing at it constantly. I just feel there should be a road, a reasonable road for a player who doesn't want to load, but still can achieve the pretty much guaranteed success on a certain set of skills. He wants to be the explosive to the specialist. Let them. Let him spend the points. Let him sacrifice combat capabilities in exchange of not having to load when disarming minefields. Not having to fear that you have to constantly keep healing. As I said, this isn't a bad situation. We still have a very high chance of success. But there's a point where a group of mines we will never be able to have at that chance. How bad is this? I think we should probably just charge in and see what happens. The melee guy's probably going to initiate the fight. Let's go there. It's decent cover. Didn't have a chance to shoot. Yeah, this is more comical than anything else. We're basically using the same wall for cover. Yeah, I need to kill this guy, otherwise it's gonna be a forest. Also need to take cover. Heal or cover? Cover. Thanks. Oh my god. They really hate her. I think we want to spread about a bit. We should have enough firepower to just kill these guys. No reason to try to gamble on aim shots. I'd like to get into position behind with someone. He doesn't need to do damage. He needs to be there so the AI basically knows he's not in cover against a certain target. He'll have to reposition himself. Great shot. Full blast will kill him, but I don't know if I want to take chances on that. The one remains. He's going to get an accuracy bonus out of that, so it's not like I don't understand him going there, but it's still not a great place to go to. Didn't have a boss here, but I think this is the last of these rail thieves. Right. So at this point we should be able to somehow put an end to this situation. Holiday store crates, right. Forgot about that entirely. These type of things, I don't feel the critical failure is too big of a deal, right? Because you have a reasonable recovery situation. But with a lot of skills that doesn't exist, so it's either it succeeds or the opportunity is lost forever. And a chance of 2 critical failures in a row, pretty much, that is very low if you have any reasonable amount of skill. Right, it's time to buff science a little bit. Seems like a reasonably important skill, and currently I don't think anyone really has it. A couple points on the skill monkey. Right. Skills not showing properly. Not sure what to take. We could use alarm disarming too. Use lockpicking, could use energy weapons. The situation is gonna improve, but for now it is what it is. A roboticist. It's not bad either. I don't think we have a chance to recover from this, and roboticist is nice. Still, it's a reasonable chance of success. High capacity magazine. Wooden stick. Worth about 500 probably. Right. I mean, I don't mind too much. I mean, what the weapons are gonna be called. There's gonna be a tier of them. But I sort of feel like wooden stick shouldn't be that high on the totem pole there. I mean, that it costs hundreds of bucks. I mean, it's a wooden stick. That should probably be at the low end of weapon selection on a blunt weapon side.
Copy, Echo. Congratulations.
Congrats. What do you know? Healing skills, mechanical... Do you even need to do mechanical repair? Who's doing the mechanical? No one else is doing mechanical repair at the moment. Right. We do need to keep pushing the field medic up. Deconstructor. A mechanical repair basically just needs to have a chance of success. It does not need a highest chance of success. And currently Ralphie can do the toaster repair, so there's no immediate concern about pushing this higher, although it's we can't ignore it. If we're gonna ditch Ralphie anyway, someone else has to pick up the slack there. I can't just have basically go back to Ranger still and switch up every time I find a toaster. Well, I can, but it seems like a very terrible way to do things. Is that it? Right. I suppose I could end here, but I want to see if we can quickly just do a few things. We completed a couple of quests. We just need to get the rewards, and we could probably just hawk a little bit and get the main situation with this area solved at the same time. Because I don't see what else I can do. The two leaders just have to come to an agreement, and we've talked to them about everything already, so it's a matter of negotiating now. So I'd like to wrap things up here at least somewhat. 2 quests on the side here. Supply crates and CPI. Supply crates go here. We recovered your stolen supplies. Thank you, Rangers. Look, I don't want you to get the idea that my merchandise is overpriced, but in the interest of supporting our brave and helpful desert rangers, I'll give you 50% off. That's quite a lot. Oh, and I suppose you can have this here book. The Richard Grieco story. I don't have anything to compare this to. I do not want sniper rifle though. Let's say about 100 bucks worth. Yeah, sure, despite all. I wonder, does it affect sell prices? Would they be lower or higher? We could just buy a couple of bulletproof shirts. The problem with this is pretty much everything probably has about 3 armor penetration as far as weapons are concerned. So yeah, I can buy bulletproof shirts, but I'm not sure if it's really gonna do any good. It doesn't seem to affect pricing in any way. At least if we want to sell stuff. I guess we can just dump the junk. At the same time, I might as well do that at home base to the management there. I need to go do that anyway. Don't want to get stuck here. I want to get the quests done. If we could get a little bit of extra conversation skills before we have to do any negotiating, that would be great.
Copy, Echo. Congratulations, Echo.
I don't think... I'm not sure we would need it though. I mean, we have fairly high conversation skills. If anything, we need other things. Like leadership. Chance to maybe hit with the weapon you have. I'd say leadership is more important now. Silver tongued, I'm pretty sure is a bartering thing. Plus 5% discount on all purchases, so it's not something we want. I think leadership is the best choice at this point. We still have rogue chances on a lot of characters. 10%, 10%, 0%. So we still need at least a couple levels of leadership to get rid of that. You have perk bombs. We're gonna start taking the taunting. Reduces enemies' chance to hit. Effect isn't major, but it's not necessarily. The point is, it's something extra on top of other things. So we can maybe turn it from 100% from something lower, or
What are these strange machines?
some reasonable chance of success to something pretty weak. It'll help.
I can't believe the Desert Rangers will help me add to my hardware collection. A CDI! Oh boy!
Yeah, we found a CDI.
Wow! Is that what I think it is? I can't believe you found one! Here, have a bunch of quarters. You've got free games on my machines for the rest of your life.
Well, thanks.
Come again, anytime.
I don't seem to have got
When
anything.
man stops walking in nature, man grows weak.
We did get a book of some sort. Richard Grieco's story. Kiss ass plus one. We're not gonna, we might as well read it because we're not gonna naturally raise the skills 10 anyway. So all the upgrades are gonna cost 6 points and we're gonna only take 1 anyway. So there's no point not reading this immediately.
Copy it. Congratulations, Echo.
Perception. Energy weapons are nice, but perception is so vital. So vital. And it's one of those things, you'll never notice the difference until you actually invest in the skill. And then you suddenly start noticing a lot of little details, all extra little loot opportunities. I have no idea how significant the difference is in overall junk and equipment you can get and that sort of thing. But it feels that it makes a pretty big difference. What's Ralphie's level? 7. That's pretty weak. Doesn't matter. Just needs to collect his skill points. At this point, I'm probably not taking Ralphie, so I don't. We might as well invest in the poster repair skill as much as possible, and even take the perk to get extra loot from those. That way we can abuse him a little bit before we dump him.
How peculiar. They're all missing their left arms.
No shit.
Why have you returned?
Why have you that girl locked up?
You mean our house guest, Jesse? She is the daughter of Casey James, the leader of the traitorous Atchisons. In short order, we'll hang her from the highest switching post. Casey James will be broken, and this war will end.
Yeah, good luck with that. We clear out the camp of rail thieves for your convenience.
Thank you, Rangers. Now we can continue our righteous war with those damned Atchisons unbothered. A small token of gratitude is yours.
Would you allow the Rangers to negotiate a peace? Because if something doesn't happen right now, this is basically gonna go to open warfare.
I told you before, our private affairs are not your concern. Besides, I doubt it's possible.
It's a drug lab. Do I want to rat out the drug dealers? I don't see why. Why not? Because I'm a Desert Ranger, supposed to keep law and order. These are the law and order. And just having druggies all over the place is a bit of a trouble. They're openly hostile towards some of us. There's a drug lab in one of the abandoned rail cars on the edge of town.
Thank you, Rangers. But we'll take care of this on our own. Choppers, we have a drug dealer in one of the abandoned rail cars. You know what to do. Keep out of our business, Rangers.
Come on, you gotta help me. Come on, you gotta help me.
Right.
Another visit, Rangers?
I need to talk to Casey, I suppose. If she dies, this is all for nothing.
Copy, Echo. Congratulations, Echo.
Got our perk point. %50 chance to find bonus loot when using toaster repair, party-wide. He's junk diver too. Upon finding junk items, 50% chance of finding another junk item. Yeah, we need to basically put an end to this right now. They're attacking the drug dealers, the druggies. Chop them down. Maybe I should have talked to Casey Jones, try to... It seemed like something happened. I think it might be... It's how the daughter is handled. Or rather, basically I took a very don't get involved attitude from the start. So the game basically puts me in a situation where you have to basically act right now. The longer you try to ignore this, the worse and worse and worse it gets. So you don't have the luxury of just taking your time. You need to make choices right now. So we'll try to get Casey Jones to agree to negotiate some sort of a peace. Someone has to. The Kekobot doesn't have the peace options anymore. So either you ask him the first time, or probably before you come here, or how things can possibly work out change. If the daughter dies, I don't think there's any chance. It's basically all over at that point.
Snooping around again? What are you doing back here? Go get my daughter away from that monster Kekaba.
Maybe we could help get Jesse back.
Really? We've been fending for ourselves so long, I forgot what a kind word sounded like. Do you mean it? Just name your price.
End the war.
I don't know. All right. You win. This war's done nothing but kill children on both sides. I don't know why I couldn't see it until my own daughter was threatened, but, well, go tell Kekaba that if he gives me back my daughter, I'm done killing and ready to bargain. Of course I've got gunpowder. Might not be polite, but the sooner you're gone, the better.
Let's hope we make it in time. Not much we can do, just hope the fact that he's willing to talk peace prevents him from going through with killing him. I mean, he's killed like who knows how many people already and nothing's changed. The daughter is not gonna make a difference. I mean, he would have nothing to lose at that point. Peaceful future stops having anything to really offer. All you can do is get back, get revenge. Hurt them the more than they hurt you. It doesn't matter if it's logical or not. It's a predictable emotional response. It's a bit too predictable, so I'm wondering why they haven't. How could Kekaba possibly think that killing the child will somehow end this? Maybe he doesn't have children of his own. But even then, I mean, you think someone basically can talk some sense into him. You'd think the obvious choice would be to try to use it as a hostage first.
Gee, I usually only get to go in here on important occasions.
We've come to ask you to release Jessie.
And why would I do that? If I can't use her life as leverage to convince Casey James to surrender, and she will make an excellent example when she is swinging from our front gate.
Logic or kiss ass? Logic might work better on Kekaba. He seems to be fairly logical person in that sense. I mean, he's not emotionally over-attached. He's not taking that much pleasure from killing people. He's just, at least he's rationalizing it by basically he's killing them so the other side will see sense. He's not nearly as emotionally attached, seemingly at least, as Casey James is. But if you instead offer an example of mercy, it might convince Casey James to begin negotiations. It might. I sort of want to go with kiss ass. You'd use a girl's life as leverage? We thought you were a man of honor. They're pretty big on pride, so it might work too. Yeah, I think they're probably too prideful for this.
What good is honor when you fight a dishonorable enemy?
Right.
You've seen how Casey James fights, with bombs that kill indiscriminately.
We did get extra
Topekans have
experience
lost
out of it.
plenty of innocent girls. Now it is the Atchison's turn.
It's all about revenge. Okay, if you are willing to cast aside your honor, then what exactly are you fighting for?
Why are you badgering me like this? An eye demands an eye. A dead Topekan demands a dead Atchison. Casey James knows that. He could stop this any time he wanted, but he just keeps killing. So, if I cannot watch the light go out in his eyes, his daughters will have to do. Maybe then he'll finally stop.
Would you stop if Casey James killed your daughter?
Casey James already killed my daughter. I slaughtered 20 of his braves for that. I see your point. It won't solve anything, will it? But I cannot simply release her. She violated our laws by trespassing on Topekan ground.
The Desert Rangers are lawmen. Release her to our custody. We'll make sure she stays in the Atchison camp.
Very cunning. I don't like others to get involved in our internal affairs, but this would allow me to keep my promise to enforce the law and avoid killing a young woman at the same time. Let us see what Casey James thinks of this act of mercy. I doubt it will lead anywhere, but...
But if he says he's willing to talk, then bring me his terms.
Choppers! Release the lock on the cell door! Jesse, you're free to go. But do not come back to Topekan territory again until there is peace between our tribes.
Thank you. Now, please, let's go.
I have no idea how much skill it actually was required to do that. But a single conversation skill, again, I don't think would have really cut it. There might be other way to convince him. I mean, I don't know. It seems like they haven't made things easy for you to try to de-escalate things once it goes to a certain point. Maybe there's a way that you can do it through other means. The golden spike might offer you a pathway to that. But again, I don't see it going well if you just rob it or something like that. Maybe the... Okay, I think there might have been a way. I'm not sure. There were the history books about John Henry, and well, it seems like he's held in high regard, and I didn't bother looking at those books. Maybe the game basically would recognize that you've read them, and they would offer basically a road to some kind of a compromise. Because if it's basically their deity. So if there's some kind of an example or a precedence of something happening, it might serve as a way to get them to at least agree on a peace or come together to negotiate about it. And the conversation skills could be sort of the brute force method. That if you haven't really looked into everything in detail, you lack that option. So you can still have a highly skilled group be able to handle things, but it's a much more skill intensive way to try to deal with things.
Thanks for saving Ralphie and disarming that bomb. You guys are heroes.
Heroes.
The Rangers, my heroes.
Rangers, I just saw my little girl outside. Gave her the biggest hug of her life. I was mad at Kekaba before, but now I'm burning with righteous fury. It's never been clearer to me he's gotta die. And that's the only way I see this war ending with any Atchison still alive.
Save your righteous fury for yourself. You're the one who put your daughter in this situation.
Me? I'm not the one who made an innocent girl a prisoner of war. I'm not the one who won't let the Atchisons set foot in a camp that used to be their home. All right. I don't know why I couldn't see it until my own daughter was threatened, but, well, go tell Kekaba I'm done killing.
Yeah, a little bit of a 180-degree turn there, reusing the old dialogue too.
Have him meet us at the broken rails and we'll hash this out. We'll bring the brake shoe and fix the rails in exchange for the spike and half the profits from the rail trade. But the spike must return to us. That is not negotiable. We can't both have it.
Right. I think there's multiple paths for this to go, and that's why this sort of stands out. It's basically to acknowledge the fact that he promised to come to the negotiating table if I do this thing. But I could have asked for something else, so if I would have asked for something else, I think he might have not been willing to negotiate at all anymore. If you're done making bombs, then maybe Kekabab will stop killing your people.
You're right. If we could trust each other to stop at the same time, we could have peace. But I can't trust Kekaba as far as I can spit. I mean, just look at the spike. It don't mean nothing to them, and he still won't give it back. We both want it too bad. Except my reasons are good, and his ain't.
Yeah, that's a good one. What if you both can have it? What if you use it as the last fight?
Are you saying we should use the golden spike to repair the rails? Make it the final act that gets our train going again? Like some kind of symbolism? Ha! I like it. Particularly since it'll be in our rails, and not in their station house. Okay, Rangers. If you can get Kekaba to agree to that, along with the rest of it, then we have a deal.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Might not be polite, but the sooner you're gone, the better.
But at least it seems like we have a basis for it. And that seems
Rangers,
like a reasonable
my heroes.
compromise. I think it's a point of pride rather that the other side doesn't have control of the spike. So we can get into some kind of situation where it's used in a symbolic manner, and no one really has, no one has to basically lose it to the other side. It allows them to have their pride. So let's see how this goes. Great chance to milk experience for Scarlet, though. A lot of conversation options. And they're not like... I like them too for another reason. They're not like... yeah, you butter them up a little bit and they'll make a 180-degree turn totally. It allows you to shift their position a little bit, but they're not gonna stop hating the other side just because you had a good conversation skill check. So it feels more natural. I still feel that how Casey James and the daughter worked out is not that smooth. It feels like they're basically patching, cutting up conversations from another path, then pasting them into conversations that were never initially designed. Because they want to reuse the spoken text instead of writing something specifically for that option. So it doesn't fit that well. You sort of get what they're going for, but the quality of writing suddenly sort of drops there. And I think it's just because they really wanted to have a spoken dialogue there rather than something that makes more sense.
Another visit, Rangers? Why have you returned?
Casey James agrees to stop the killing. He's waiting for you by the entrance to the Atchison camp and he's ready to deal.
Did I not tell you to stay out of our affairs? Well, what's done is done. What exactly are his terms?
He will fix the rails and return the brake shoe in exchange for half the profits from the rail trade. And he wants to use the golden spike to repair the rails and seal the deal.
You mean, use the golden spike as a final symbolic act that gets our train going again? Damn it, yes. That is a John Henry solution if I ever heard one. But the rest of it, he hasn't conceded a thing. He gets everything he wants, and I still have one arm and can't drive my train. Give me one good reason why I should change my mind when he has not changed his.
Ooh, that's a good option. It's using his words against him in a way. Because even the strongest man needs 2 arms to drive a train.
You think reminding me of the wreck the Atchisons caused, the wreck that cost me my arm, will make me change my mind? I should kill you for this insult. But no. You are right. We Topekans have learned a sad truth in this war. We cannot ride the rails alone. We need the Atchisons just as they need us. But the debt in blood. I don't see how Casey James can ever spill enough to repay it. I'm afraid No. Wait. I know what to do. All right, Rangers. Go to Casey at the entrance to the Atchison camp and tell him this. If, in addition to returning the brake shoe and repairing the rails, he is willing to lose his left arm, then I am willing to give the Atchisons half our profits and welcome them back into our camp. But the golden spike stays with us. That is not negotiable. We can't both have it. I'll be there shortly with the golden spike, ready to deal. But if this is some kind of trick, I'll pound that spike through his heart. Choppers, bring me the golden spike. Go, Rangers, and may you speak with silver tongues.
So, is this really gonna work? I suppose we'll find out if Casey is really worried more about the future of the tribe or himself. It's a totally unreasonable thing to ask, but at the same time, if they get everything they want without them having the Atchisons basically having to give up anything, the other side can't possibly save face. They would be giving up everything they demanded in exchange for what?
All right, we're here. What does Kekaba have to say for himself?
Kekaba agreed to your terms and to using the golden spike to repair the rails, but only if you are willing to lose your left arm.
Lose my left arm? Is he insane? No. I'll do it. After all that I've done, what's the loss of an arm? I deserve worse than that. Tell him we have a deal.
Do we have a deal?
He agreed to your terms. We have a deal.
Good. Then let us finish it.
Ready to drive in the spike?
Your arm first.
For the good of both our tribes, I'm ready. As a sign of renewed brotherhood, here's the brake shoe. Now the spike.
For the good of both our tribes.
I'll give my people the good news. I'm glad it's over.
So am I. Let's get to work.
I wonder if I can take the arm. Casey James gave his left arm for peace. Hope the coyotes don't get it. Yeah, I sort of feel like it shouldn't be left there, but... it's finally over.
Copy, Echo 1. Echo 1. Congratulations, Echo 1. You've done
Extra skill points to spend. Bomberman. I'm not really using explosives. Anything? I want more unlocking skills. Roboticist. I'll unlock the roboticist. Computer science should be useful anyway. We need to get energy weapons up though. As long as he has this terrible weapon though, I don't really give a shit about his energy weapon skill levels. He's never gonna be good with this weapon anyway. So unless we get something better, it's just a waste. I'll take the roboticist though if I can. Plus 20% damage versus robots and synths. Yes, please.
This is Chief Kakaba with good news. Thanks to the Desert Rangers, the feud between the Topekans and the Atchisons is over at last. Finally, we can begin to work together again, and we'll soon have the rails repaired and the trains running. The rail nomads will rise again.
Not enough points. We're gonna keep pushing bladed weapons. We basically have to reach 100%, and increasing the critical hit chance isn't gonna be a bad thing either. (49% critical hit chance, 2.4 times normal damage. Yeah. Right. I'll think I'll just leave things here. We probably have some looting to do, maybe some people to talk to, see if we can get any kind of response, any kind of rewards, things like that, but leave that for another time. Out of that, I'll head to Ranger's Citadel, probably, to handle the management side of things, scrapping things, earning money. We have to 1,577 bucks. We can probably get a couple thousand out of this, and it doesn't look like we have anything new to buy, so we're basically storing money for the situation where the next stage of equipment comes. I mean, this is about 500 to 600, and the previous was 300, so we're looking at around 700-800, maybe closer to 1,000 if we get a extra tier or two to our combat equipment. So we are going to need thousands of scrap in order to be able to do an equipment upgrade. Naturally, we could just find some of it, but currently I think we've bought almost everything we have. And there's the Chisel. Chisel is there. He probably would join us at this point, so we could dump him. Right.